We're back. I don't know what happened the last time, but the stream crashed. It did crash. So it is what it is. But we were watching the anti-aging. So as I'm a really rich person, I have like multiple of internet connections. So we're back. I just unplugged, plugged another Ethernet. That's how it goes. We're gonna continue because we were learning some things, man. My internet threw me off. Not good. Now we're back though. Maybe the Matrix attacked Moon. We're gonna continue. Where were we?
And in such small doses it doesn't have, I would imagine, not just an antioxidant. I guess it's vitamin E, 67 milligrams, a very low dose. I'm not gonna comment anything.
Yeah, well, 67 is a really low dose because the over-the-counter vitamin E sold in India called Evion has about like 400 IUs maybe. Now I don't know how much IU will be in mg, but that's a low dose for vitamin E.
Anything about that. It's just an antioxidant, and in such small doses it doesn't have, I would imagine, not any significant effect. EPA 500 milligrams, so this is the omega-3 fatty acid with vitamin E 5 milligrams. So yeah, like as a vegan diet, on a vegan diet, you would be better off by supplementing some EPA. But I haven't seen any like choline in his supplement stack, which is also another this critical, let's say, is a vitamin-like substance that is also very deficient on a vegan diet, and you get it mostly from like egg yolks and liver. But the choline is actually one of the most important variables or factors that determines if you get fatty liver or Alzheimer's over the course of your entire lifetime. So I personally am taking even like alpha GPC for the choline, and especially if he's on a vegan diet, I would say that I would take like a choline supplement or alpha GPC on a vegan diet for sure. Garlic 2.4 grams and garlic 1.2 grams kyolic. Garlic, so
2.0. Okay, we can eat garlic. That's easy. Just eat garlic. One claw every day. Who cares, right? My grandma eats garlic and she's nearly like 100 years old. I don't know if it is 100 or 90 or something. She eats garlic every day. I'm gonna start eating garlic. Write it down. Pen doesn't want to work now. Beautiful.
Garlic is good for the cholesterol and lipids. It's very powerful for lowering the cholesterol levels, ApoB, as well as even it has like blood sugar management effects, and it can actually boost some antioxidant defense as well. Beautiful. Ginger root 2.2 grams as an anti-inflammatory. Glucosamine sulfate 1.5.
We can add ginger as well, that's no problem. Can you give some background context behind this watch party? Our last stream, I was playing PUBG, then we played Warzone, then we played Apex, and then we went on to watch this kind of things, and the stream ended abruptly, so now I started with a new title. So we're basically learning things right now as we speak about anti-aging and biohacking and fitness, and because now we have to get shredded.
5 grams. So yeah, glucosamine is an anti-inflammatory. It helps with joints and cartilage, but also has cardiovascular disease protective effects. And there is actually some studies showing the use of glucosamine and chondroitin is associated with lower all-cause and cardiovascular disease mortality. So the use was associated with a 39%. Some studies showing.
Right now we're watching Brian Johnson and his supplement stack. Like, we're reviewing his supplement stack. I mean, same as reviewing, but we're watching it right now. Like, he takes 100 pills a day, and now we're watching what 100 pills he's taking. Like, what are the supplements, and the supplements he's taking are not that crazy, to be honest. Like, the supplements are
the use of glucosamine and chondroitin really is associated with lower all-cause and cardiovascular disease mortality. So of glucosamine and chondroitin effects.
Glucosamine is also used as anti-aging supplement. However,
and there is actually some studies showing the use of glucosamine and chondroitin is associated with lower all-cause and cardiovascular disease mortality. So the use was associated with a 39% reduction in all-cause.
Receptor, I added garlic and ginger. We have to use it daily now. That is something in our kitchen, we can use it easily. Boom.
Mortality and 65% reduction in cardiovascular disease mortality. Of course, this is an epidemiology study, but I do think that glucosamine has good, and it's very safe. It has very beneficial anti-inflammatory benefits, and it also is an autophagy regulator. So I personally am taking glucosamine every day. I take 3 grams every day because a higher dose is needed to get the benefits for the joints at least.
Yes.
So he's taking 1.5 grams twice a day, so spread out, but I take 3 grams. Iodine as potassium iodide, 125 micrograms, so that's for the thyroid.
Glucosamine has to be one of the worst tasting supplement of all time. Of all time. Yeah, internet decide, matrix attack. Glucosamine's gotta be the worst tasting supplement of all time. Was it glucosamine, or there's... I don't think it was glucosamine, but there's one more something. Tastes horrendous. It was in a powder form. It was vegan, so I thought I might give it a try. It was the most horrendous thing I ever tried. Such bitterness. Oh.
Right, probably. Lithium as lithium orotate, 1 milligram. And this is interesting because there is some association with lithium and reduced all-cause mortality as well as suicide mortality, because especially because most of those suicide and self-harm associated mortalities in people who have like some sort of mental disorders.
But Mr. Preceptor, here's the question. Like, are you drinking green tea with the bag? Like, are you using the tea dips? Because if you're using that, there's a lot of microplastics in that thing. So therefore, I was drinking green tea right now, but I make it with loose leaves. I don't use plastic. Like those paper bags you see, there's like so much like microplastics in those. So therefore, I don't order those kind of teas anymore.
Or bipolar.
So what kind of a tea is it? Like, is it from loose leaf, or like you're using dip bags?
Patients or schizophrenia and those kind of things. So lithium has beneficial effects on the brain, and it helps if you're like let's say a person who doesn't have any mental disorder, then it's gonna...
Kanye West literally said that Britney Spears is being poisoned via lithium or something like that recently on some kind of podcast.
Improve your brain health, and it's gonna improve your brain longevity, and but it does help to stabilize mental disorders as well, which is part of the reason why it's associated with reduced suicide and homicide rates. So yeah, that's just interesting to mention. Lycopene, so this is one of the substances, or you get it from actually a lot of these carotenoid vegetables, which he's also eating a lot. So I don't personally, I don't take lycopene, I guess. Lysine is an amino acid that is also anti-inflammatory, but it has been found to have beneficial effects on muscle mass and muscle strength as well. Metformin, so this is another prescription drug, and
just buy the loose green tea, like without the plastic bags. Like I have it in me right now, but you do understand what I'm saying. The loose leaves.
Yeah, there is association.
If you throw like this much leaves, it will make plenty of
with metformin and reduced mortality in diabetics, and some of those diabetics even have reduced mortality compared to non-diabetics who aren't taking metformin, which of course makes you think that, hey, even if you're diabetic and you're taking metformin, then you can live longer than non-diabetics who aren't taking metformin. But that particular study, they didn't replicate the same results. So metformin has maybe potential longevity benefits by managing your blood sugar, but if you don't have diabetes, then I personally don't think it's somewhat that necessary to take, especially if you're already eating like a very low carb and all the other blood sugar management supplements. And some of the side effects may have to do, reduced VO2 max and potentially reduced muscle mass as well. Nicotinamide riboside, 375 milligrams. So this is the NAD booster. So in this study, they used this 17A estradiol, which is this non-feminizing estrogen, as well as nicotinamide riboside and 3 other drugs. And they found that nicotinamide riboside doesn't affect lifespan, but the non-feminizing estrogen, which Brian Johnson is also taking, so this 17AE2,
Oof.
that
There's other as well. Pea protein, dark chocolate, rapamycin, HGH. He takes human growth hormone too. Okay. Testosterone. Okay, so he takes testosterone too. Beautiful. It's not natural then. Okay, got it.
did have a lifespan extending effect in mice, but the nicotinamide riboside didn't. But I think that the reason why Brian Johnson is taking the NR has to do with the NAD levels, not the potential lifespan extension benefits. So maintaining NAD levels is beneficial for longevity, but it doesn't have longevity, or it doesn't have lifespan extending effects. It has health span extended effects by increasing your exercise capacity and like your insulin sensitivity, but it doesn't have direct lifespan extending
Do you take it?
effects. N-acetylcysteine, NAC, so that's the supplement that is also in my top 3.
For lung? I think was it cysteine which got banned in US?
List that I think is everyone pretty much should take 1800 milligrams twice a day. So he's taking 3.6 grams of any.
I think it got banned, no? Like something got banned. It was useful for lungs, and they banned it since the COVID time. The NSS system. What did they ban then? Something.
NAC a day, which is quite a lot. Yeah, that's I don't think that is anything harmful. Therefore, that there's no like real adverse effects to NAC, with the possible exception of histamine intolerance.
And nothing wrong with vitamin C. I mean, take it.
So NAC can reduce histamine breakdown. So if you are someone who has autoimmune disorder, it can the possible exception of histamine intolerance. So NAC can reduce histamine breakdown. So if you are someone who has autoimmune disorders or histamine sensitivity, then I wouldn't recommend taking large amounts of NAC all the time, because it can, just make you break out in terms of histamine reactions. And NAC also does reduce inflammation, which may, again, suppress some of the muscle growth pathways. So Brian Johnson, I don't think he's trying to build muscle. He's trying to maintain the muscle. So his BMI is 22, which is quite low, but it's still in the lowest mortality range. So the lowest mortality for his age in a BMI is 22 to 25. And he's in the kind of sweet spot for that. So he's definitely not trying to build muscle. He's trying to maintain it and reduce the inflammation and still exercise. Like exercise is still.
Turmeric. Okay, we're getting something like. We're looking at a very extensive list of supplements right now, but there are some things which are found in your home. You can find cocoa powder in your home. You can find garlic in your home. You can find ginger in your home. You can find iodine in your kitchen. Turmeric. You can buy ashwagandha easy. So there are some things which we can apply from his research. I mean, from what he's taking, like we can. These are the things which are available, so we can definitely start using them.
Still beneficial, and even if you don't build muscle,
So
then
we'll write it
exercise
down.
and resistance training is still positive for the longevity, even if you don't build muscle. But regardless, NAC is something that I take. I don't take it every day, but I take it every other day, if that makes sense. One interesting thing is that he's not taking glycine, because the Glynac combo, so glycine NAC, is a very research. There's like, I think like 5 human studies showing that it affects the hallmarks of aging and improves glutathione, reduces oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, inflammation, hallmarks of aging, metabolic effects, cognitive decline, and everything.
Brian Johnson did throw a spoon of cocoa powder, like this much, and from that powder is going to get those 500 milligrams of flavonols. So it was the same. But as I said, like there's cadmium found in cocoa, so you can't use it daily, and I don't know where to find cadmium-free cocoa powder. Maybe we'll do a research. I mean, let's find it. Why not? Cocoa powder. Like, do we have to import things from America now at this point? Holy. I don't think you can find such things in India. That's what I'm saying. Like, you must have to like shop. That will increase the budget a lot.
So it actually has.
Yeah, there will be some kind of cadmium in Hershey's cocoa powder.
Proven benefits for reducing the hallmarks of aging in humans and in inflammation, hallmarks of aging.
Where
Things
were
like
we?
5 things. I don't take it every day, but glycine, because the Glynac combo, so glycine NAC, is a very research. There's like, I think like 5 human studies showing that it affects the hallmarks of aging. And
Rajgopal
improves
Shekhar,
glutathione.
an Indian, did the study. Okay, Rajgopal, Mr. Rajgopal V. Shekhar. Beautiful, beautiful. Where was the study done?
Reduces oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, inflammation, hallmarks of aging, metabolic effects, cognitive decline, and everything. So it actually has proven benefits for reducing the hallmarks of aging in humans. And
Does he taking all these things on? No, he takes supplements when there's 3 kinds of supplements he takes. One while waking up, he takes with his green pre-workout concoction, which consists of 8 ounces of water, spermidine 2 tablespoons, amino complex of 7 grams, creatine 2.5 grams, collagen peptides 20 grams, cocoa flavonols, which is taken from cocoa powder. Then he takes cinnamon, and he takes the morning pills upon waking up with that thing. And then there are things which he takes after lunch or with lunch, and there are things which he takes with like after dinner or something.
And in mice, the Glynac combo has been found to extend lifespan by 24%. So it's interesting why he's not taking the glycine. So he is getting 3 grams of glycine from his 10 grams of collagen peptides, but I don't think it's nearly enough for the optimal amount of glycine. So for the optimal amount of glycine, you need at least 15 grams of glycine, because first of all, your body makes 3 grams of glycine. 3 grams of glycine is used to produce glutathione.
No, he works out after that.
Creatine and heme, but 12 grams is needed for optimal collagen turnover. So he
takes 20. I think it was 25 pills in the morning.
Getting maybe like a very small amount of glycine.
But now we're on a side way. Like we're going into his supplement stack, and then Mr. Sim is helping us read the research about. So we're literally making our own supplement stack. Like considering some of the supplements he is taking
from his diet, because he's not eating any jello, he's not eating any these tendons and ligaments.
Like when you think about it, like we don't even consider like garlic, ginger and turmeric supplement, but it has some health benefits, so that's why he's taking it, and we can definitely take this 3, if not the other, pretty easily for our own benefit.
There are some plant foods that have glycine, but not in that high amounts. So if you want to really optimize your collagen synthesis and collagen turnover for the skin benefits, then you need at least 15 grams of glycine as a supplement. So he's getting 3 grams from the collagen peptides, and he might get 2 or 3 grams from his diet. But that still leaves like at least a 10 gram deficit, in my opinion. And I have, multiple videos about the glycine and how much you need, etc. You can check it out. But I personally am taking glycine. I think it's even found to extend lifespan as well by up to 20 to 40% by mimicking a methionine restriction. So I don't see a reason why he wouldn't want to take glycine. So at least based on my research, there's no reason not to take glycine, at least in my opinion. Next supplement is Proferrin. So this is an iron supplement. So he's on a vegan diet, and
vegan diets lack in iron.
Makes sense for him to get it. And he's not at risk of atherosclerosis or liver damage or other negative side effects of iron supplementation. So if you're already eating a lot of iron and you take an iron supplement as well, then that is associated with increased cardiovascular disease because of excess iron. But because he's not eating really that much iron, or pretty much no iron from his diet, almost at all, like the actual heme iron, then makes sense for him to boost that with a supplement. Turmeric with piperine, 1 gram, so that's another anti-inflammatory, helps with sulforaphane as well. Taurine, 1 gram, amino acid that helps a lot with exercise capacity and blood pressure and cardiovascular function. I am a fan of taurine as well.
That's the main ingredient of Red Bull. The entire Red Bull is based upon taurine. How much is in Red Bull? 500 milligrams or less?
In it.
300? How much taurine is in Red Bull? Of course. How much though? How much? 70 milligrams probably. Oh yeah, one gram of taurine.
Myself, ubiquinol, so CoQ10, 100 milligrams for the mitochondria, so why not? I think that's a very staple for a lot of longevity snacks. Zeaxanthin, 20 milligrams of lutein and 4 milligrams of zeaxanthin. So this is another of these. You get it a lot from the carotenoids, so it's good for eye health, which is very important for aging as well. But for him, I think he's eating a lot of this lutein and stuff like that from his diet already because
we need to incorporate zinc at this point
of these different colorful vegetables. So maybe it's a bit redundant, but I think at the same time it doesn't hurt either. Zinc, 15 milligrams. So there's not a lot of plant-based sources of zinc, and the most bioavailable ones are in animal proteins. So adding 15 milligrams of zinc makes sense. Dinner, another acarbose dose, Brocomax, vitamin C, calcium, cocoflavanols, EPA, garlic, ginger, glucosamine, hyaluronic acid. So this is another supplement that has become popular for its potential benefits for skin health and skin aging. I agree. I am taking hyaluronic acid as well. It's a good one. I have no comments on that one. So next up, tyrosine, 500 milligrams. So tyrosine is actually the main precursor to dopamine, which I am at a baseline. I'm at like a high dopamine already. Like it's very easy for me to get focused and get motivated. So I have no issues with that. And I actually have tried supplementing tyrosine. It didn't work for me. Like it just made me a bit too high dopamine, if that makes sense. Maybe Brian Johnson is someone different. Maybe his baseline.
Yes, he does.
And his lower dopamine, who knows? But yeah, that's the main reason I would imagine why taking the tyrosine. And it's interesting to take it in the evening. I would imagine taking it in the morning might have more positive effects for productivity and like mood and stuff like that. Metformin, again, NSC, nicotinic riboside, and turmeric. So that's the dinner supplements. Before bed, 300 micrograms of melatonin. So that's good. I think for an everyday basis, if you're taking melatonin every day for the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits, which is good for longevity, melatonin is, I think, as a hormone, is one of the most important hormones for longevity. So like if you take it every day before bed, then a smaller dose, like 0.1 to 0.3 milligrams or 300 micrograms is the way to go. Because if you take too much, then you might get actually groggy and you might like just feel much more tired after waking up. Like if I take 1 to 3 milligrams of melatonin, then the next day I wake up a bit more tired actually. So a smaller dose is more beneficial if you're taking it on an everyday basis. And I do think that a small dose of melatonin, such as 300 micrograms every day is safe and it's actually good. And these are the other supplements or these additional compounds.
Fun.
Extra virgin olive oil, 30 milliliters a day. I am a fan of olive oil. I think it's one of the healthiest oils in the world, high polyphenol content, and it is one of the most associated longevity foods in the world. Like all the Mediterranean countries, they are high in extra virgin olive oil, and the use of olive oil is associated with all these health benefits as well, probably due to the high polyphenol content. Pea protein, 29 grams a day to get more protein into his diet. Dark chocolate, 15 grams. So that's good one to add as well for the polyphenols and boost dopamine and actually taste
pea protein and whey mixed protein shake, huh?
Good. Rapamycin, 13 milligrams bi-weekly, prescription drug. So rapamycin, it suppresses mTOR, and in a lot of animal studies it extends lifespan. And there is no, in humans studies it does have some positive effects as well in slowing down some of the process of aging. I think it's very early to say if it actually extends lifespan in humans. But out of all the longevity supplements and drugs out there, then rapamycin is definitely the most powerful one. It definitely has the most researched effects in terms of extending lifespan. And I do think that it works. Probably it works.
You didn't talk about
we just don't
dark
have enough
chocolate at all?
to get more protein into his diet. Dark chocolate, 15 grams. So that's good one to add as well for the polyphenols and boost dopamine and actually taste good. Rapamycin, it's up and in slowing down some of the process of aging. I think it's very early to say if it actually extends lifespan in humans. But out of all the longevity supplements and drugs out there, then rapamycin is definitely the most powerful one. It definitely has the most researched effects in terms of extending lifespan. And I do think that it works. Probably it works. We just don't have enough data yet or like long-term clinical safety studies. But I personally think based on the research we have right now, I think it works. Whether or not you should take it, you need to assess, what's your situation and what's your age. Someone who is in their 40s, like Brian Johnson, for his age, I think it's worthwhile to take. Someone for me in my 20s, probably not. So because rapamycin still reduces, let's say, muscle protein synthesis and makes it harder to build muscle as well. So but he's taking it bi-weekly, which makes it, I guess, a bit better. I wouldn't take it like every day. So growth hormones, he's taking growth hormone as well, 0.6 milligrams 5 times a week. I think this is a new addition to his diet, or this protocol. I would like to know, what's some of the changes that he's going to report. But at least based on, some animal studies, then growth hormone is also actually one of the pathways that is associated with aging. So excess growth hormone ages you faster. And I wonder what's the effects that he's going to see and if he's going to keep it later on. But growth hormone alone, people use it as like this, growth hormone as a drug. They do use it as part of the TRT and hormone replacement therapy protocols to help with the aspects of just muscle maintenance and like functionality. But as a hormone, the pathway of growth hormone and IGF-1 is associated with aging, at least in animals as well. But it does definitely help with the, let's say, health span. Like you just feel better probably if you add growth hormone. And this is the non-feminizing estrogen that we talked about that does extend lifespan in male mice. But
we'll take a look at his website now to finish watching this video, because we have to finish watching. We've watched 25 minutes. 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's very new. Like I've only seen over the past few months people talking about it. So it's very new. Like I've only seen over the past few months people talking about it. So we'll see what's going to happen. It's pretty much very experimental as of now. But it's the non-feminizing estrogen, so it doesn't have the feminizing effects. So testosterone, the TRT patch, 2 milligrams six times a week. And like I said, he needed to add it pretty much to raise his testosterone after being on this calorie restricted diet. And I think many people need to realize that as well if they want to test and try out the Brian Johnson's blueprint as well, because there are many people trying it. And if they're not aware that they potentially may need to start TRT in the future, then they need to be aware of that. So like many people just look at the protocol at a glance. Okay, eat this calorie deficit, eat these foods, etc. But they might not go into the depths of that you might need to take TRT. So that's why I think it should be one of the highlights that hey, this is still a medical requirement, and the average person maybe wouldn't be willing to go into that depths. And there's no evidence to suggest that you need to be, let's say, this particular protocol to slow down the aging or longevity. Like the centenarians, the people who live over 100, they're not taking 100 pills per day. Of course, they're exercising. Of course, they're lower body weight. And of course, they're eating less calories. But there's no track record of centenarians doing the blueprint. So the blueprint is just Brian Johnson's own N=1 protocol that he's doing, and he's of course sharing all results, and we can see that yes, it does work for him in a lot of ways, that his biomarkers are improving. But there's of course many things that might be redundant. There's many things that might be overkill, and there's many things that might have some negative side effects, at least for some people as well. So you definitely don't need to follow the blueprint to 100%. And I mean, if you are exercising and eating a good diet and losing weight, then that's not the blueprint. That's just a healthy lifestyle. It's just that if you follow this specific, let's say, protocol, then you're following the blueprint. But the other healthy lifestyle is something that people have been doing for decades and centuries, even almost, like just maintaining physical activity and good relationships, and you know what I'm talking about. And the last supplement is B12 once a week. So yeah, he's not eating any B12 from his diet because of the plant-based food. And there were some supplements that weren't on the list as well. So spermidine, so he's not taking an actual spermidine supplement. I think he's getting the spermidine from chlorella powder, which is a high source of spermidine, and he's going to get 13.5 milligrams of spermidine. And one recent study did show that the dietary consumption of spermidine at a dose of over 11 milligrams per day was associated with up to 30% reduced mortality compared to getting less than 9.6 milligrams of spermidine per day from dietary sources. So I do agree that dietary spermidine source is probably much more important than the supplemental spermidine. At least we have the data on the dietary spermidine. We don't have any data on supplemental spermidine extending lifespan or being associated with reduced mortality. So I think that, yeah, like adding chlorella powder, spirulina, wheat germ, cheeses, mushrooms, and different vegetables, even like meat has a little spermidine. So that's where you want to get your spermidine from. Amino complex. So I would
what are the chances of us not receiving a copy? Like what is like copyright claim, copy strike, whatever it is? Like what are the chances of us not receiving?
Assume that's essential amino acids. Makes sense. Creatine 2.5 grams as well. So that's as a vegan you don't get creatine from the plant sources, although the creatine supplements are made of plant-based sources. So it's a vegan supplement, but you don't get the dietary creatine that much from plant-based foods. And the other one's the same, except Ceylon cinnamon, which the main effect for that is it's high in polyphenols again, but it also helps with the blood sugar regulation. So there we have it. This is a long video of the Brian Johnson's blueprint supplement routine. You can check out my full breakdown of his entire routine, including diet and exercise. But overall, I would say that yes, he's taking a lot of supplements. Are those supplements the main reason why he's seeing those benefits in his health? Definitely not. Like, he also agrees that the biggest effect comes from, eating a good diet and exercising and getting good sleep. So those supplements are just adding maybe like 5 or 10% to his results, whereas the vast majority of the other results come from the entire lifestyle. But do you want to slow down aging and live longer? If yes, then I'm looking for more people who want to reverse their biological clock. If you're interested, then email me the word health to info@seemlund.com and I'll send you the details. But other than that, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to click a like, subscribe, notification bell as well. My name is Seem. Stay optimized, stay empowered.
Sure. What cocoa powder is he using? Here we go. The one he used. How much? $45 for 8, 6. How's it? Oh. Okay, here we go. Black lentils. 300 grams weight cooked. Must be like less than 100 grams without cooked. Depends on how much water he adds. Black lentils. Okay. Broccoli. Cauliflower. Shiitake or maitake mushrooms. Oof. Interesting. Garlic. Ginger root. Lime. Cumin. This is more interesting. I like this website. So we can definitely add like garlic, ginger, lime, cumin, apple. Drizzle one. Okay. It's not hard to make. This was doable. Nutrition facts. Boom. 378 calories. 5 grams protein. Proteins coming from lentils. Black lentil. Beautiful. This one's not hard to make either. Should try making this then. Nutty pudding. Almond milk. Ground macadamia nuts. Ground walnuts. Ground flaxseed. Brazil nut. Non-Dutch cocoa. Sunflower lecithin. Cinnamon. Blueberries. Raspberry. Strawberry. No, this one's also like good. Expensive though. Interesting. How much fat is in the meal? 22 grams. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, sir. It's taking protein mainly from lentil, seeds, and pea protein. Some of the nuts is eating. Interesting. 30 to 60 grams of pea protein. That's this protein intake coming from beets, almonds, pulse. Now, the first two meals are not that hard to make. This one and this one. Doable. Interesting. 70 pounds of vegetable berries and nuts per month. Beautiful. So he's big on black lentils. Huh? Why is he big on black lentils? Why not like mung beans or chickpeas or peas or anything like that, but only black lentils? That is interesting to me. Literally his entire month of food intake. We have to start eating black lentils at this point. I have to. I mean, not we're not talking about we, but this is interesting. He doesn't eat any kind of cashews. Where is the almonds? It's not listed here. That's just a recipe. He does it. Perfect. We just went through this entire thing in the first half of this video. Strange he doesn't prefer biryani. This thing looks good. There's almond milk in it, macadamia nuts, walnuts, flaxseed, Brazil nut, cocoa, cinnamon, blueberries, cherries, pomegranate juice. This one seems pretty delicious to me. I don't. Okay, I don't think you can see it. I'll show you. Hold on. Like this one looks good. This one was also doable. This one was easy. Like, what is it? Lentils, broccoli, cauliflower, mushroom. I don't know where to find mushroom here. Garlic, ginger, lime, cumin, apple cider vinegar, hemp seed. This is this meal is also doable. Black lentil has caught my eye. That means ordered, right? In Hindi. Gujarati, I know. Oh, not Hindi. Lentil. Gujarati. Alida. And the idiot. This one. No. Cowpea. You never knew about that. Black-eyed peas. Gram Ardad. Yeah, that means Ardad, Urad, whatever it is. So I knew the name. Interesting. Track progress. We're not gonna track any progress. Daily calories 1977, just under 2000 calories. Okay. Isn't calorie deficit every single day? When's Andrew coming out? How much are we in? Testing for hours on end today. He'll thank me. This anti-aging sub, which one?
You've probably heard about many different longevity supplements that you could take, but there is one specific supplement that I think everyone should take for the sake of slowing down aging and helping to promote longevity. The supplement that I'm talking about is collagen peptides, and in this video we're going to talk about why you need to take it and how much. But do you want to slow down aging and live longer? If yes, then I'm looking for more people who want to extend their health span. If you're interested, then email me the word health to info@simlan.com and I'll send you the details.
Do it!
Collagen is mostly associated with reducing wrinkles and improving skin health. That is definitely one of the benefits. By now, we have up to like a dozen human clinical trials showing the benefits of collagen peptides on skin health, reducing skin wrinkles, and improving skin elasticity. So if you are interested in the aesthetic side of anti-aging, which means preserving your youthfulness for longer and reducing the signs of wrinkles and skin aging, then collagen peptides should definitely be like a fundamental staple in your supplementation routine for anti-aging. But this is not something that only like older people or middle-aged people need to worry about. I think that virtually every adult would already benefit from supplementing collagen peptides. Unfortunately, you start losing collagen already in your 20s. You lose just under 10% of your skin's collagen content every decade. So by the time you're 75 years old, you would have lost nearly 50% of your skin's collagen content. The density of collagen in the skin also drops, starting at the age of 20 by about 8% per decade. Now, losing your skin collagen and the collagen density everywhere is a natural byproduct of aging, but it doesn't have to happen at a rapid rate, and you can definitely mitigate and slow down this process by providing your body enough of the nutrients needed to trigger collagen synthesis and to consume enough of collagen peptides.
Feel how soft my skin is.
Collagen is also vital for your arteries, your tendons, your ligaments, your joints, your hair, your nails, and all different kinds of organs. So even if you're not interested in the aesthetic side of anti-aging and you don't care about wrinkles, then you would still want to optimize your collagen intake for the sake of your physical function. Collagen makes up your cartilage, which is what protects your joints by preventing bone rubbing against bone. Thus, joint pain and osteoarthritis can be caused by a deficiency in collagen. Also, half of your bone is made of protein, with most of that protein being composed of collagen. So, a deficiency in collagen can lead to weaker bones. Now, on this channel, we talk a lot about the importance of strength training and just overall fitness for anti-aging and longevity. Muscle mass and muscle strength are very correlated with living longer and reduced mortality, especially increasing health span. But one of the biggest things that stops people from exercising, especially in their later years, is different kinds of chronic pain. And if you can't train because of pain, then that will lead to a downward spiral in your health as well. Because if you can't move, if you can't do exercises that keep you young and healthy, then it's going to be a very rapid decline in your health span. We have this 2018 meta-analysis of randomized placebo-controlled trials, and they found that collagen is effective in improving osteoarthritis symptoms. And this 2008 study found that 24 weeks of using collagen hydrolysate improved joint pain in athletes. So it doesn't really matter what your age is, you will benefit from collagen as a compound. And making sure that you get adequate amounts of collagen throughout your entire lifetime is one of the best insurance policies in terms of the aesthetic side of anti-aging, that you preserve your skin collagen content that will reduce the development of wrinkles and also improves skin aging, and at the other hand maintains also the functionality of longevity, which means that you have less pain and making sure that you don't develop different kinds of chronic injuries. But why do we lose so much collagen as we age? Part of the reason has to do with not getting enough glycine, which is one of the main amino acids making up collagen. About 30% of collagen is glycine. Your daily collagen turnover requires around 12 grams of glycine, but your body makes only 3 grams endogenously. Those 3 grams can be allocated for the production of glutathione, creatine, heme, and bile salts. That still leaves around a 12-gram gap in your requirement for collagen turnover. Now, most people might get only around 3 to 5 grams of glycine from their dietary sources, which still leaves around 5 to 7 grams of a deficit in terms of their glycine demand. If you take a collagen peptide supplement, like 10 grams of collagen peptides, then you're going to get only 3 grams of glycine from that. And by the end of that, you would still need around 3 to 5 extra grams of glycine. Now, we could talk an entire video about glycine, which I've already done. You can check out my full breakdown of the longevity benefits of glycine, but the main message
guys,
is...
as we know, BBC's imaginary person called Sophie, which Andrew spoke about in the interview, well, since the Lisa claims Andrew Tate paid her 10k to fly out to him in Dubai. The girls he paid to come to Dubai were then told they were not allowed to leave the house. You're not allowed to leave the house. Think of this as a Tate quarantine. At Andrew Tate. These were exact words that she tweeted, and I've covered her at for a reason, and you'll see in a minute. She said, "You're not allowed to leave the house. Think of this as a Tate quarantine," which apparently Andrew told her when she was in Dubai. She plastered it on every single one of her social medias, and then she replied to someone calling her out in her TikTok comments, and she chose this song. I mean, it really says it all.
Now they do anything for clout, do anything for clout.
She's making extremely damaging claims, and then she chooses the song "I'll do anything for clout." Surely this just says it all. And I ignore her. She replied saying, "You're paid 10k to fly me out." Now, she went private on Twitter also, and I blurred it out because one, Andrew would not want you to give her hate.
Anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past, to file.
Side effects exposed. Oh, there's the coffee plastic.
Hey friends, welcome back. So if you enjoy coffee or tea when you're out with your friends, I suggest bringing one of these with you. This is a stainless steel Yeti coffee mug from my friend Ryan Lampers, who has a Western Hunting Summit. So I bring this with me all the time when I go out for coffee because unbeknownst to many people, when you have hot water with those disposable coffee cups, you are getting a bolus dose of microplastics. And these endocrine disrupting microplastics are ubiquitous. They can increase the fluoride absorption from the unfiltered water that you're trying to enjoy with.
Great production quality. Look at the production quality though.
your coffee out with your friends. We know that microplastics and the problems therein are linked with endocrine disrupting physiology in the body, decreasing testosterone, increasing estrogen, synthesizing pathways, and all of that. So it's really important to minimize your exposure. Now, we're all exposed to plastic. I mean, food packaging, dietary supplements, cosmetics, these things are everywhere. So the important point is if you're having coffee all the time, the lifetime burden of the microplastic exposure from having that hot water or hot coffee or hot tea in a disposable cup, as you can see here on this image, actually increases your body burden of microplastic. So just getting used to when you order coffee, if you like to stop at Starbucks or go to the coffee shop with your friends, just bring these in your bag or in your car and request that whatever you order, whether it's a matcha latte or a, double espresso.
Soy fucking latte from Starbucks. Holy shit.
Ask for a for here mug or bring your own cup. And most people, I've never had a barista say, "Oh, sorry, we can't pour coffee in your for here mug." Like they're all like, "Oh, sure, you want this? You want me to clean it beforehand? Rinse it with hot water." Very important because again, the difference between humans and say dogs and cats is we live for a very long time. And so our bodies tend to accumulate all these different toxins, whether it's microplastics, fluoride, lead, mercury, arsenic. And so we want to be conscious and aware of minimizing our body burden of these compounds. So if you're having coffee on the regular and you're having it in disposable cups, you are posing a risk of increasing your body burden of persistent organic pollutants that have all sorts of health ramifications, from increased risk of cancer.
So the people in offices drink tea in a plastic cup over decades are definitely going to accumulate a lot of microplastic this way.
Increased testosterone, increased estrogen, insulin resistance, and much more. So just a very simple thing to get into the habit of is ordering your coffee or tea with for here mugs or bringing a little Yeti. Go to REI or go on Amazon, get a Yeti stainless steel mug and buy it and bring it around with you. Very simple to do. I think not enough people do this. I was just out in public yesterday at a park and I saw so many people just walking around with their Starbucks and their coffee, and it was great to see. It was a nice sunny day, so people were enjoying, drinks while they're out. But it was like, wow, how I was just made aware of the fact that many people are not aware that these disposable cups have the thin plastic lining, and putting in that hot water, hot tea, hot coffee is literally, studies now show you're getting a bolus, millions of microplastic particles. And again, you don't want to be bioaccumulating these over the course of your life because they have a lot of health consequences. So just wanted to share this video with you, and I'll share some of those images and those studies so you can be aware of this. This is not me being fear-mongering, just being more conscious and aware of the fact that we're all exposed to these things. We want to minimize our consumption. Hot water and plastic don't mix, and there's plastic in your disposable coffee cups. So be sure to minimize your exposure and just plan ahead. Bring a mug with you. Ask for a For Here mug at the coffee shop next time. That's it for today. I will link some of those studies below. As always, if you your mug at the coffee shop next time. And just plan ahead. Bring a mug with you. Ask for a For Here mug at the coffee shop next time. That's it for today. I will link some of those studies below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Be sure to share this with a friend who loves coffee.
Gatorade. Alright, lowers IQ. Watch it some other day.
The only two things that seem to uniformly, if done more or less correctly, impose longevity are rapamycin and some degree of fasting. So you then start looking at, well, what do those two things have in common? Mm-hmm. Well, what they both have in common is they would certainly turn down mTOR, mechanistic target of rapamycin, and there are lots of other effects that come with it. Now with rapamycin, there are probably other things that are happening that go beyond just the reduction of mTOR, or maybe more to the point, there are probably other things that are happening besides autophagy going up. So we would see inflammation go down, we would probably see mitophagy go up, we would probably see senescent cells getting suppressed. And those things tend to happen when you're fasting as well. All of those nutrient systems are kind of coming down into, a nutrient-deprived state, which means insulin is going down, IGF is going down, PI3K is going down, AMPK is going up, TOR is going down. So one of the important mechanisms that's seen in that Venn diagram that would overlap between rapamycin and fasting would be autophagy.
Super interesting. So rapamycin, I know you shared a paper, I think it was a buddy of yours.
Buddy of mine.
Hey friends, welcome back.
Oh guys, now this is actually very, very unexpected, and no one thought that this will ever happen, really. It seems like Andrew Tate is completely gone, and now in his place there's gonna be a completely different person, and you're probably confused of what I'm talking about, but let me explain. But yeah guys, leave a like on the video and subscribe with notifications so you don't miss any updates. But yeah, let's just get into this. So pretty recently, this one woman on Twitter explained what a woman is. If someone says they're a woman, not a tough concept. And as you can see, this post received 30 million views and barely 2,000 likes, which is a very horrible ratio. And she obviously got cooked in the comments because it does not work like that. It makes absolutely no sense. If a human says that he's a dog, he's not a dog. That's how easy and simple it is. I believe these people have a mental illness that is disgusting. People are trying to no sense. So and adding pictures of him responded to it by saying, "I'm a woman," and adding pictures of him in a super good physique. And as we can see, it doesn't make him a woman. Him saying he's a woman does not make him a woman. He is not a woman. I don't know what I'm explaining this to. It's absolute kindergarten type stuff. So he went even further saying, "I'm a lesbian woman, so I only use my female penis on other women," which honestly is just butchering their own logic, which I honestly love. And he even changed his Twitter bio to most Googled woman in the world. So yeah guys, Andrew Tate is a woman from now on, and we all have to respect her. And then to top things off, he retweeted a tweet which says, "Angela Tate at Cobra Tate is a trans woman being prosecuted in Romania and held under house arrest without charges. Her brother, Talisman the Tate, has been accused of negatively affecting someone's emotions after it was discovered he exists on the internet and said anything." So yeah guys, this is some serious stuff. This transgender woman is being accused, and we need to speak out. So yeah guys, leave a like on the video and subscribe with notifications. But yeah,
I might play Apex Legends later, but right now I have to go now. Some other things as well. I'll see you guys later. It's 5 p.m. already. What? Unbelievable.